I am India. I take media, graphics and textiles. So on the graphics course it starts off with like a teacher-led section, that's basically learning Photoshop and Illustrator, and you explore loads of different artists around like different periods. So we did like still life for a little bit and just working on Illustrator and Photoshop and getting used to it. And then that's for for a couple of months. And then we move on to our own individual project, which is called like a personal study. So for that we start off by exploring loads of different artists. So you pick our artists and go into little explorations of them. And then through that we develop our work and eventually get to like a visual communications page where all of the designs that you've done previously, you put them all together and say, these are what I like best. And then you develop those, so you might, for example, add text is what I did with a lot of mine, and then you carry on developing those and working through them, and you might add a different inspiration into that as well, and eventually you produce the outcome, which is what my favourite bit of the course was actually producing an outcome, and then because it takes so long to develop it and see it kind of progress, so it's really good to have it eventually all put together how you actually thought it was going to go, because there's so much thought and time that you put into actually making it.
So what artist did you pick for your final piece, or what was your inspiration?
So for like, you pick 4 artists first of all, so I picked Chris Andrew Small, he does a lot of colour and text and typography and kind of about stretching the letters. So that was one of them that I used because my wall, which was my outcome, it's quite like bright colours and neon, so that was the colour palette kind of came from him. And then I also use lots of, because it's quite fashion based what I've done, so I've used fashion photography, so I just got pictures offline as well as I use my own pictures. So that was quite inspiration from Anna Strump, who is an artist that does embellishment, so she's done like magazine covers for like Vogue, for example, and she's actually embellished the photo, kind of adding little doodles. So that was like another artist inspiration that I took.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about your experience with the college. Did you make friends in graphics?
Yeah, so it's a really nice atmosphere actually, and it's a lot different to how it would be in school. Like you can, there's lots of digital things like your phones are there and you use them for inspiration. You look on Instagram, find artists' inspiration, and everyone's just chatting, talking. You can walk around and get up when you like, and it's so unrestricted, which is really nice, and you can just talk to anyone about their work, and everyone's really like just happy to share things, and it's a nice atmosphere as well because quite often they play music, which is just really calming, so like gets your creative flow going.
Perfect. And then just tell me a little bit about what you're planning to do next.
Yeah, so next I'm hoping to do a foundation course. So that's really good because I wasn't really sure what I actually wanted to do after college, because my subjects, they're all quite creative, but I didn't know quite which one to pick or what to go into further. So I've done a foundation course and I'm going to do the diagnostic mode hopefully. So there you kind of pick lots of different categories. So there's one in kind of architecture, more 3D stuff, and with a bit of jewellery in there as well. And then there's like a fine art section and a graphics communication and a textile section. And the reason why I picked the diagnostic one was because I didn't know whether I wanted to do graphics communication or kind of more making things. So I didn't want to pick one and then only be able to do communication, limit myself to not actually be able to produce a product but just communicate those ideas across. So I thought if I do all of them, then with like the help of people I can be guided to which one actually is the one that I want to do.